Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here at such short notice. I'm here today with our Calhoun County Sheriff, Steve Hinckley. To my right, to my left is the Albion Department of Public Safety Deputy Chief, Jason Kern. To my left, I've got Calhoun County Prosecutor David Gilbert, also in the room. This afternoon, what began as a traffic stop quickly devolved into a chaotic and dangerous incident. And because of the large area involved, from Albion to Battle Creek, from one end of the county to the other, it's important to share what happened in our community. At approximately 3 p.m. this afternoon, Albion Department of Public Safety attempted to make a traffic stop on a vehicle without registration plates in the city of Albion. The driver fled. Albion pursued the vehicle onto I-94 westbound. That driver avoided stop sticks placed by law enforcement, where at the time officers reported seeing the driver point a handgun out the window at the officers. The pursuit continued towards Battle Creek with Calhoun County deputies and Albion Department of Public Safety officers involved. At times, speeds reached as high as 120 miles an hour. The driver exited I-94 on the Beetle Lake Road, where Emmett Department of Public Safety joined in the pursuit. The pursuit continued at high rates of speed into Emmett Township and then into Battle Creek. The pursuit continued within the city of Battle Creek, where BCPD had been notified of the pursuit and began to maneuver, block the roads, and support. However, BCPD was not active in the actual pursuit. In the area of Arthur and Gogwak Avenue, the driver fired his handgun at pursuing officers. The pursuit continued when a county deputy in the pursuit ultimately rammed the vehicle, which ended the pursuit in the area of Oak Hill and Willow in Battle Creek. The driver was then seen fleeing the vehicle, carrying the handgun, running northbound into a neighborhood where he attempted to break into an occupied home. The female inside had no idea who the person was. A BCPD officer confronted the driver out in the open. The driver was a white male and ordered him multiple times loudly to drop his weapon. The driver refused to drop the handgun, turned towards the officer with the weapon in hand on the porch of that home. The officer fired multiple shots. Officers on scene immediately rendered aid. However, the driver was pronounced dead on the scene. A weapon was recovered next to the driver. Now, in just a moment, I'm about to show you a video. We're going to show you a video that's an unedited version of the shots fired. And I'm going to ask that viewer discretion, and certainly on the part of the media, discretion is used as we show you this video. However, it's also important to note that we're fully committed as law enforcement agencies to transparency, and we wanted to get out what we had because of the nature of the incident as soon as we practically could. So I'll ask you to play that video now, please.
White man, blue jeans, black jacket, gun in right hand, running.
Stop! Drop it! Drop it! Drop the gun! Drop it! Who are you in? Video!
Since that time, in just short order, MSP was notified and is on the scene, and they are actively handling the criminal investigation. The driver's identification is not going to be released at this time, pending family notifications. And the sergeant involved from BCPD is Sergeant Chris Klein, and he has been with this department about 17 years. So are there any questions? Yes, sir.
To your knowledge, has any sort of law enforcement had any sort of contact? Do they know about this guy for this event?
We'll release more about the driver, but there have been multiple contacts with this person over a longer period of time.
When the suspect broke into that home and later on was confronted by the officer, the suspect, did he point his firearm at the officer?
He did, exactly.
Did the suspect fire any shots?
Suspect had already fired multiple shots throughout this event. However, no shots at the moment the officer confronted him at the resident by that door were shots fired.
Did the driver make any threatening comments or threatening gestures towards either officers or the homeowner or resident of that building?
The driver made a lot of threatening gestures. One, by driving 120 miles an hour on 984, he's already telling us he doesn't want to get caught. Two, he had pointed a firearm at officers while the pursuit was ongoing, and then fired at officers while in the city of Battle Creek. Lots of threats, a lot of threat cues. I'll tell you, this was an incredibly dangerous scenario. This is a man that needed to be stopped quickly. I'm grateful for the deputy that rammed the vehicle because he understood the danger of it. This was, as I shared with you, this was a chaotic scenario, one of the worst, again. And I'm really proud of the cool heads and the professionalism, and most importantly, the fact we all are, that no one else was hurt in this incident. And I think that says a lot about our folks here in Calhoun County.
The suspect fired shots while being pursued in Battle Creek, right?
That's right.
I guess sticking his handgun out the window and firing shots.
So what we know right now is that the firearm was pointed at officers who were attempting to put devices out on the roadway to stop his vehicle or render his vehicle or blow the tires out of his vehicle, right? And to stop the pursuit. While they were doing that, they stand on the side of the road. That's when they saw, and the vehicle pursuing officers behind this vehicle saw the man pull out his handgun out of the window at the officers. We were not aware of any shots being fired at that time. But again, that's plenty, right? And so after that, the pursuit continued into the city of Battle Creek, where shots were actually fired by the suspect at pursuing officers. The pursuit continued until it entered into another neighborhood where a deputy was ultimately able to ram the vehicle and stop the vehicle pursuit. And then the person got out of the vehicle and ran with his firearm. He had already shown the intent and the capability and the willingness to use the handgun. And at that point, officers are operating with that mind.
Is that on 984 too?
The first incident,
Yeah.
yes, was on 984, that's correct.
Do you know anything about the weapon at this point? I assume he wasn't eligible to have a weapon.
We don't know much about the weapon at this time. We clearly recovered the weapon, but that's about it.
But he had a felony history, so not capable, not legally capable of having a gun.
Yes, he did.
Was there anything stopping his vehicle to indicate why he would flee?
Right now, I can only tell you that there's a lot being developed, even momentarily, and I don't want to get in front of the investigation itself. I can tell you a second handgun was discovered in the vehicle, but I can't tell you what else was in that vehicle. Or why perhaps he was in Albion, why perhaps he came to Battle Creek. Those are details that we're going to have to develop over a period of days.
Can you say if either of the firearms he had to register?
At this point, we have no information on either firearm.
Chief, I know you're not releasing his name, but he's from Battle Creek.
We understand he is a resident of Battle Creek, that's
Yeah,
correct. Pardon me?
You know his age, but
Approximately 40, 44. Anything else? Okay, that concludes this briefing. Thank you.
Thank